Hey gentlemen, I am the narrator of this channel, and today I am going to tell you a truth that perhaps no woman has ever had the courage to say straight to your face. I know, hearing a woman dissect what happens in a man's bedroom might sound a little strange to your ears. But precisely because I am a woman, I understand what is really going on inside your wife's head when she turns her back on you on that cold bed every single night. And I have to tell you up front, the biggest mistake that is killing your wife's desire, that is slowly turning your marriage into a sexless tomb day by day, is not because you lack bedroom skills, and it is not because you do not earn enough money. It is because you are too nice. That is right. You heard me correctly. You have been under the illusion that turning yourself into a national husband version of a man, submissive, always yielding, always politely asking, "What do you think, honey?" is the golden key to a happy family. Dead wrong. Wrong from the very root. That spineless kindness, that harmless, sweet-looking exterior, it is slowly turning you into an emotional slave inside your own home. And worse, it is stripping away, little by little, the last shred of respect your wife still has for you. I need you to pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath, and listen to me break this down from top to bottom. Why is it that the world out there, all those self-help books, all those so-called marriage experts online, are getting this issue completely wrong? They tell you, do more housework, listen to her more, let her make all the decisions so she feels respected. Sounds right, does it not? But in reality, they are teaching you how to turn your marriage into a cheap transaction, a clumsy exchange between good deeds and physical rewards. You are thinking to yourself that if you stay nice long enough, if you endure enough, she will eventually be moved and grant you sex like some kind of medal of honor. I am sorry, but wake up. Sex in marriage is not a reward for submission. It is the natural consequence of attraction and respect. And those are two completely different things in nature. When you give up your right to lead, when you abandon your own identity to chase your wife's moods like a puppy dog tail, you are no longer a man she can desire. You know what you become? You become an overgrown child begging for scraps of approval from a second mother figure. She may still think you are a good guy. She may still praise you to her friends by saying, "My husband is such a sweet man," but I am telling you the truth, she will never, ever find you attractive again. Before I dive deeper, I need to make one thing clear. What I am sharing today is not for abusers, not for manipulators, not for toxic relationships with pathological problems. No. We are talking about decent men. Men who are giving their absolute best to their families, but who are trapped in the deadly silence of the bedroom because they have lost their inner compass. If you recognize yourself in that description, keep listening. Now, I am going to hand you a mirror. Look straight into it and see if you are one of the 4 types of men I am about to describe. The first type, I call the emotional beggar. You treat your wife's mood as the compass for your own happiness. If she is happy, only then do you dare to breathe freely. If she is upset, you scramble around in a panic, buying flowers, buying gifts, texting apologies even though you have no idea what you did wrong. You are on your knees begging for her validation instead of standing firmly on your own values. And a woman, I am telling you, can never truly respect a man who is kneeling in front of her. The second type, I call the Messenger of Deferred Submission. This is a concept that the psychologist Sigmund Freud once touched on, called deferred obedience. It describes people who once rebelled fiercely in their past, but in the present submit blindly to unreasonable standards imposed on them, just to keep a fake sense of peace. You are so afraid of conflict that you have lost your own opinions. Back in the day, you dared to defy your father, dared to leave home, dared to build your career from nothing. And now? Your wife raises an eyebrow and you tuck your tail between your legs. The third type, I call the Decision-Paralyzed Man. You push every tiny choice in the house onto your wife. What is for dinner tonight? Whatever you want, honey. Where should we go this weekend? You decide. Which school for the kids? Whatever you think is best. You think you are respecting her right to lead? No. You are pushing her into a state of neurological exhaustion that science calls decision fatigue, the mental burnout from having to make endless choices. I will come back to this in detail in just a moment. The fourth type, the absolute worst type, I call the Tyrant of Silence. You submit to your own fear of conflict. You stay silent when you see something wrong in your own home. You do not stand up for the truth. You do not defend your own principles. All because you are afraid she will get angry, afraid she will sulk, afraid that tonight you will once again have to sleep facing her back. That silence, listen to me carefully, is not tolerance. It is cowardice cleverly disguised under the mask of being well-behaved and reasonable. All right. Now let me explain to you scientifically why the nicer you get, the worse you become in your wife's eyes. There is a key psychological concept you must understand, and it is called decision fatigue. The famous research by psychologist Roy Baumeister at the University of Florida showed that human self-control and emotional regulation is a finite resource. It is like a cell phone battery. The more decisions you have to make, the faster the battery drains. By the end of the day, that battery is at zero. When a man does not lead, he unintentionally forces his wife to make hundreds of decisions, big and small, every single day. From managing meals, to managing the kids, to managing the finances, to steering the future direction of the entire family. Her brain has to operate like a reluctant CEO, and an unpaid, unappreciated one at that. And here is where the science really hits home. Listen closely. When a woman's brain is drained from playing captain all day long, her sexual desire system gets completely shut down. Her body will prioritize whatever energy is left for basic survival functions. Sexual desire is the ultimate luxury item, and it is the first thing to get cut. She simply does not have a single drop of energy left to be your lover when you have already forced her to be the manager of your entire life. And there is another concept you have been misunderstanding in a very damaging way. It is called servant leadership. You read it somewhere and thought, a husband must serve his wife. Wrong. Leadership is responsibility, not power. Yes, that is true. But a husband who truly serves is a man who submits to higher principles, honor, virtue, truth, and the shared mission of the family. He does not submit to the temporary emotional gusts of wind coming from his wife. Those are two completely different things. One is a captain serving the voyage. The other is a rower serving the seasickness of a passenger. Now I want you to listen to this metaphor, because this is the most important awakening point in this entire video. Imagine a tree in the wind. A healthy, perfect tree is a tree that always reacts precisely to the situation. When strong winds blow, it bends just enough not to snap. When the wind is calm, it stands tall and straight toward the sky. If it bends too much, it falls over. If it stays rigid and refuses to bend at all, it breaks in half. So what are most of you doing? You are trying to turn yourselves into a tree that is permanently lying flat on the ground, whether there is wind or not. You are lying flat with the hope that, well, if I am already pressed against the dirt, the wind cannot hurt me anymore. That kind of obedience strips you of something that Western philosophy calls logos, the principle of order, of reason, of words that carry weight. Throughout the entire history of human thought, man has always represented logos, the one who establishes order, who establishes the laws of life. And woman, she represents Eros, emotion, nurturing, the flowing current of life itself. When a man abandons his logos to get swept away by the chaotic emotions of a woman, he is no longer a man. He has surrendered the right to be the master of his own life. And worse, he has dragged the entire family into a mess of unresolved conflicts with no one to fix them. Your wife cannot desire a man in whom she no longer sees the presence of an independent backbone. You must burn this into your soul. Desire is born from difference, from the tension between two poles. It is never born from a weak, cowardly melting into one another. When you become nothing more than your wife's shadow, she has no one left to desire. She is longing for a man, but all she sees is a mirror reflecting herself back. So what is the solution? I know, by now, many of you are getting impatient. Let me be blunt. The solution to your sexless marriage is not in learning new positions online. not in buying your wife new lingerie, not in taking romantic getaways to Napa Valley or the Hawaiian Islands. It lies in one single place. Stop trying to change the other person and go back to being the master of your own life. You must choose for yourself a higher object of devotion. That object is not your wife. It is the principles of your own life, principle-centered living, a concept that Stephen Covey introduced in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Instead of doing everything to make the wife happy, do everything because it is right, according to your own value system. You only become attractive when you have your own world, your own standards, your own battles, and you are not swayed by the temporary emotional winds of anyone, including your own wife. When you stand firm on your own 2 feet, when you become the steady anchor for the entire family, her respect and desire will naturally come back on their own. No begging required, no negotiating needed. And here, I am going to give you a concrete action plan. Do not just listen and then turn off the screen. Start today. Step 1. Establish your own red zone. Sit down, grab a piece of paper, and identify 3 core values that you will never, ever compromise on. For example, that could be honesty. That could be responsibility toward your own parents. That could be discipline with your children. If your wife asks you to do something that violates these values, you must say no, calmly, firmly, and unshakably. No long explanations, no apologies. Step 2. Proactively take over the operating system of the family. From today onward, never ask the question, "What is for dinner?" again. Create the weekly meal plan yourself, build the daily routines yourself, and run the household yourself. Free your wife's mind from the endless, trivial decisions of daily life. That, right there, is the most masculine form of service you can offer her. It is not washing the dishes. It is freeing up her mental battery. Step 3. Practice disciplined submission, meaning you only comply with your wife's requests when they align with the shared growth of both of you. Never submit just to beg for her approval. That subtle difference is exactly the line between a husband with backbone and a servant with a marriage certificate. Step 4. Rebuild yourself. Dedicate at least 30 minutes every day, non-negotiable, to your own personal goals. Go to the gym, read professional books, learn a new skill. Let your wife see that you have your own journey, your own adventure. And most importantly, show her that you do not need her permission to become excellent. You know what? When I look at the marriages around me, the happiest wives are not the ones with the nicest husbands. They are the ones with the clearest husbands, clear about who they are, clear about what they want, clear about what they will do, and clear about what they will never do. That clarity, that is the raw masculinity that every woman deeply craves in her subconscious. If you are tired of playing the role of the nice husband but still feel lonely inside your own home, if you are exhausted from every night staring at your wife's back and wondering where you went wrong, then it is time for you to reclaim your ability to lead. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community, a place where men learn together how to become the captain of their own life, instead of just drifting along with someone else's emotional waves. Do not let your life drift away for one more day. And now, before I close this out, I want to leave you with one question. I want you to shut off all the noise around you, sit alone in silence, and answer this for yourself, as honestly as you possibly can. The last time you made a decision because it was right according to your own principles, even knowing it might upset your wife, when was that?